Brian, Elias Melas, President and Founder of the GNA Networking Association, and we're coming to you today from the offices of Zero BS Marketing here at Altamont Co-Work. I'm here with Brian Schilling, who's our Central Valley Area GNA Regional Director. And first of all, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, and coming up soon, Happy New Year to all of you. So right now, let me introduce you once again our Central Valley Area GNA Regional Director, Brian Schilling, who is known on Facebook as Zero BS Marketing, which stands for Brian Schilling, right?
That's right.
Brian.
Well, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all of you. It's great to see a bunch of you last night. Close to 100 people were at the Christmas party, and I think we had a pretty good time last night. Wouldn't you say, Elias?
I think we had a phenomenal time, Brian. We had about 80 people or so this year, but we had some very amazing people show up, great quality people. Everybody was networking, having a great time. We had some mixing and mingling, some great food, lots of food this year, right, Brian?
Oh, too much food. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to sample about half of it.
Absolutely, but I think the kicker this year, Brian, was something brand new that we tried towards the end of our event, which was
this was GNA style karaoke with our lead singer Elias Melas, President and Founder of the GNA, doing a rousing rendition of "Grandma Got Killed by the Reindeer."
I don't know if it was that great, Brian, but thank you very much for the kind words. But we had a great time, and we were able to get 8 of our members to come up there. I know a lot of people can be a little bit shy to get up there on stage, but I'll tell you, doing karaoke is going to leave a lasting impression, Brian. And what I want to talk about here right now is something that we're going to really push full force in 2014, and that's branding. And you owning a marketing business, Zero BS Marketing, Zero Brian Schilling Marketing. Okay, we'll leave the rest up to you to decide what you think it means. But tell us a little bit about branding, Brian. How important is it?
Well, branding is really everything. Yeah, when you think about branding, you think about, I'll throw out Nike. If I say Nike, what goes through your head? You see the little swoosh in your head.
And just do it.
And just do it. Yeah, it's very simple, very succinct, and very to the point. Zero BS? Well, Zero BS is obviously a pun off my name. Sure, people aren't going to think about my name. They're going to think about, the profane side of it. But it's memorable. People will remember it because it makes them laugh. So you have to come up and be creative. And that's what we're pushing people to do in 2014, is to focus on their brand and focus on their image and focus on how people can remember each and every one of you when the need arises.
That's right, Brian. And when you're different, you stand
out.
And you stick out like a sore
double thumbs.
Exactly. So, get on out there and don't be afraid if there are 5 or 10 other people that do the exact same thing. You might have a special niche in that same industry that someone else doing the same thing doesn't have, and you never know what might come out of it. And talk about that, Brian, and the importance of standing out, especially if there are multiple people in the same industry.
That's the key thing, is that you could have multiple marketers in the room, multiple web designers, multiple insurance agents. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. Because people are buying Elias Melas, professional insurance agent, not just any old insurance agent. They're looking at, hey, I know I can get insurance from Elias or from State Farm or from New York, well, not New York Life, I'm thinking a different kind of insurance, but you get the point. You can pick any kind of insurance agent under the sun, but who is it that you want to be in business with? Who is it that you want to work with? When you're choosing these people, you're choosing people that you personally would want to work with because you know, like, and trust them.
You hit the nail on the board, Brian. I was just going to say that, an example, I'm not one that likes to pitch my business. I like to get to know, like, and trust people, and we do business when possible. But using my career as an example, if someone's going to do business with me, I need their name, address, date of birth, social security number. I have your whole life. I have your whole life in my hands, and before you're going to do business with me or any other agent or any other industry that requires that type of information, you have got to get to know, like, and trust that person, right, Brian? Isn't
Absolutely.
that crucial?
And the most important one there is trust. If you don't trust somebody with your personal sensitive financial information or your social security number, you wouldn't want to talk to this guy. But because you can say, yeah, I know, like, and trust Elias, I know him well enough that I will give him the key to my identity, my social security number, my driver's license number, anything that, if he so chose to, he could, replicate me.
I could be zero BS number 2 or something or whatever, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so trust is very important, and it's very hard to earn it, but once you earn it, you got to keep it.
That's right. It's very, very difficult to earn someone's trust, but very, very easy to lose their trust. And I'll tell you something, Brian. Just because I trust somebody doesn't mean I'm going to do business with them, even if I need their service. I have got to like you as well. You've got to be a likable, approachable person, because no matter how much I trust you, if I don't like you and you don't come around, so I see you coming around, I'm not going to do business with you. What are your thoughts about that?
That's absolutely true, and it goes even a little further than that.
Okay.
Because let's say that I'm all set with my insurance, so I don't necessarily need your services right now. But because I know, like, and trust you and what you do, I can say, well, when I hear one of my friends who needs insurance coverage, they're buying a house, or they're getting a new car, or their kids are getting the license first time, well, then I'm saying, hey, I have a guy that can take care of you. Yeah, and he's going to look out for your best interests. And I know that he will, even though I haven't bought from him personally, I've heard from people that have. And because he has that reputation, that trust that other people have in him, I know that, hey, if I ever get that opportunity, yeah, I'm probably giving him a chance too. But in the meantime, if I know others need that help, he's the guy I'm going to go to.
Right, and Brian, just to wrap up this subject here, even if you meet with somebody and you have a one-on-one with them, we encourage everyone to have a one-on-one, because that's where the magic happens. The one-on-one is not there for you to pitch somebody your business. It is there to make someone briefly, let me emphasize, briefly aware of what you do, and let them tell you what they do as well too. But you're there to get to know each other and see if you have a vibe and you feel comfortable working with each other. Now, if you end up doing business with each other, if I have a one-on-one with Brian and I have an immediate need for a service and I just like him and I just can't get enough of him, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to do business with him on the spot. But even if I don't do business with him, or he doesn't do business with me, does that mean I write you off, Brian?
No, not at all.
How come?
Well, yeah,
you're just talking about the referral source, right?
It's a referral source, absolutely. Yeah, because the whole goal is that you're asking each other, when you have that one-on-one, what is a good referral for you? Because it's not just myself that can be a referral. It's everybody around me and my personal network. I'm bringing my network to the table. Elias is bringing his network to the table. Those two overlap. As we get to know each other, we can see other people out there that have needs that we can address and say, hey Elias, did you know Rob over here? Rob, well, he could probably use your insurance help, but you know what? I know Rob also needs, a landscaper. Well, do you know any landscapers, Elias? Because I'm looking for one for him. So everybody has their own resources they bring to the table. If you know, like, and trust somebody, you're gonna say, you know what? I'll try your resource just based on your word.
That's right, Brian. And if you offend somebody during a one-on-one, or when you meet them at one of our mixers or events, you're not just offending them, you're offending the hundreds of people that they know as well, right, Brian?
That's true.
I mean, if I offended you, how many more people am I offending at the same time? Countless, right?
Countless.
So, keep a good relationship, everyone, with everyone that you meet, because you never know what might come out of it. I am now doing business with people that I met 5 years ago because I kept them on my contact list, kept them on my Facebook, and they so happen to have a need for my services, and they came to me when they were ready. So the same thing can happen to you. So Brian, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up in 2014. I know we have all of our relaunch events happening. I know we're going to be launching Tracy on Thursday, January 2nd at the same location as the Holiday Mixer. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we got a lot of exciting things lined up for 2014. First and foremost is we just need to get a running start right out of the gate. So January 2nd, it's going to be here quicker than we know it. Looking at it now, well, it's less than a month away. Christmas is less than 3 weeks away. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm not ready for Christmas.
Nowhere nearly ready. Not after all the holiday extravaganza prep, but we got to get to work, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, our time's short here. And our time is short because we have a lot to prepare in 3 weeks besides Christmas to get ready for the new year. I mean, you got a lot of things cooking for the new year, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, pick your top 3 things that you're going to do for 2014.
Well,
if you could do the top 3.
Well, I'll give you the top 3 right now. GNA, GNA, and GNA. I don't know if that's allowed, but I'm really fired up about what's going to be happening at the GNA, all the kickoff events. We're going to be kicking off Tracy. We're going to be kicking off Sacramento during the second week of the month. We have our interactive Wednesdays at the Clarion Hotel event where we're going to be doing some more vendor fairs there. Vendor fairs have become really effective. Brian, why don't we talk about that for a second and what we're going to be doing in 2014?
Absolutely. So, actually, last month in November, I wasn't there personally, but down in Modesto at the Clarion was our first vendor fair that we did. And, since I was there, Elias, why don't you talk a little bit about, the activity and how many people were there, how many people showed up, and more so, I mean, the timing of it was great because people shopped for the holidays. If I wasn't headed out of town, I would have been there myself.
Well, absolutely, Brian. You certainly missed out, but I understand things do come up. Normally at that event, we get anywhere from 10 to 12 to 15 people. We had over 30 people at the event in November at the Clarion. We had about 12 vendors. A lot of those vendors drove more than an hour to be there, folks. We had a phenomenal time. And what was really interesting that night, Brian, is that almost 100% of our members paid it forward to the venue. And while we're on that subject of paying it forward, let's talk about that really briefly, I'm trying to say, because that's going to be something we're going to really, really focus on more so than ever in 2014.
Yeah, paying it forward is the core heart and soul of the GNA. How can you pay it forward? Well, this is where we need your help. We need you to promote the GNA. We need you to tell your friends that, hey, I went to a vendor fair in Modesto last night and I met some great vendors. I got some really cool items. You guys got to come to this. You got to be here. And that's the energy and paying it forward that we're looking for from you. You want to come to us. I've gotten a lot of questions. I'm sure you have too, Elias, about, how can you help the GNA? How can you help promote, move us forward? It's simple. If you're on Facebook, which if you're not, Elias has got something to say to you about that.
I'm going to say it on camera here. I'm going to come on. No, I will say it on camera, Brian, because I'm not afraid of any. There's nothing to hide, right, Brian?
No, this is true.
You've got to put it all out there in the open, but I'm going to come hunt you down and make sure you're on Facebook, because if you're not, you're missing out on 2,600 plus contacts and GNA members. And it's going to grow to over 3,000 in no time. So you got to get on Facebook and be active. That's where it's happening.
Well, to put this in perspective, in 2013 we went from 1,000 to 2,500 members plus 2,600 members actually.
Right.
You do the math. That's 150% growth in less than 12 months. So what's our target for 2014? I think 5,000 is not even anywhere unreasonable.
Brian, I heard you mention that to me about 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about this by phone, and I was like, it's going to be a lot of work, but you know what? I'm so fired up that the target number is going to be 5,000. By the end of 2014, we're going to have over 5,000 members of the GNA in Northern California. So stick around. It's going to be one heck of a ride.
It's going to be one heck of a ride, but it won't be a ride if you're not helping us. We're two guys here, that help you and lead you, and we'll share our resources with you and bend over backwards. But we need you to do that too. We can't do all the work, right, Elias? We've got to have some help.
Absolutely, right.
And the more that you help us, it can be as simple as saying, hey, can I organize this one little piece of an event? Can I run this part for you? Or can I do a marketing campaign, throw some posters around town promoting the event? we will supply you with the material. If you want to do the legwork, that's what we're looking for. And it doesn't take much. Print out 10, 15 flyers, you go to the coffee shop downtown, ask them to tack it on the public event board. That gets exposure for us. We're looking for new members, because the more members we have, the more people that are in our network, the more people that you're able to meet. What does that create for them?
Well, it creates more resources and more exposure. I mean, you can never get enough.
Opportunity.
Opportunity, that's true.
Opportunity.
Opportunity's a knocking, right, Brian?
Opportunity's a knocking. So who's going to answer in 2014? I'll raise my hand.
I'll raise both of mine, Brian.
I'll raise both of mine too. I'd raise my feet if I could.
Well, yeah. But Brian, real quickly here, all of our other chapters will be returning in 2014. Our interactive Fridays at the Beverly Heritage Hotel event will be returning on the second Friday of every month. We also have our Sunnyvale GNA monthly mastermind. Our Foster City GNA monthly mastermind will be returning. Sacramento GNA monthly mastermind, like I mentioned earlier, is going to be returning, and same with the Elk Grove GNA monthly mastermind. And we have a new launch. Brian, happening on Thursday, January 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Elk Grove at Palermo Ristorante Italiano. I hope I got that right. Palermo Italian Restaurant. We're going to be relaunching the GNA Women's Mastery Program with our Sacramento area Women's Mastery Regional Director, Deborah Burgess. And Brian, what are your thoughts about that? That's going to be a phenomenal event. We already have over 30 people confirmed for that event. It's already hitting fire.
Yeah, it's going to be one heck of a group, and my only regret is that I won't be able to be a part of it because, hey, I'm not a woman.
Well,
that doesn't mean that I can't participate, and that I can't promote, and that I can't support. Right?
Well, Brian, I will be going to the launch event to speak as the founder, but subsequent events I will not be attending because it's going to be a private sanctuary for the ladies. But Brian, as the Central Valley Area GNA Regional Director, I'd like to welcome you to that launch event at least if you're able to make it. If not, that's okay. But I think that would be showing some great support to the wonderful female entrepreneurs of the GNA.
Well, absolutely. Support is everything. Yeah, whether it's myself coming to the Women's Mastery for the launch, whether it's anybody that wants to come and support other groups in the GNA. Keep in mind that we have chapters, like Elias said, we go through the laundry list: Sacramento, Elk Grove, Sunnyvale, Foster City, Tracy, I'm missing a few.
Modesto and Milpitas.
You guys have neighboring chapters next to you. Every chapter has a neighboring chapter within about 20-30 minute drive or more. I think Tracy's probably got the most distance between a chapter aside from Modesto. But come to other chapters. Now, I know a lot of people will pick one chapter and that's their home base. Well, I'll take Sacramento. Elk Grove is about 20 minutes down the road from Sacramento. 15 minutes, depending on where you live in Sacramento, what side of it. That's pretty close. So why not go to both meetings in a month? It's monthly meetings, twice a month. I can make that commitment.
I can make that commitment too, Brian.
Well, you do more than make that. You make that about 4 times over.
Oh, I make it what's called a priority.
That priority is everything. Time management is everything, but recognizing the importance and the value, and most importantly, like we were talking about in the parking lot earlier, tonight, time is money.
Absolutely.
And time is money when you come into a GNA meeting because you're investing time in yourself, you're investing time in educating and learning from others, and you're investing time in growing your network that is going to pay itself back to you tenfold, hundredfold, right?
Absolutely, Brian. And Brian, one final thing before we wrap this up. We have some new launches tentatively planned for 2014. Let me just mention what we have going on and get your thoughts on that as well. We definitely want to get something going in Stockton. Stockton's an amazing city, and we know what Stockton has been through during this rough economy, and we definitely want to get in there and make a difference and help the wonderful people out there. So Stockton should be launching at some point in 2014. We also are looking to get something going in the East Bay area. We've never run the event in the East Bay area, but that's a huge market there. We're looking at launching it somewhere where 580 and 680 meet. You all know that spot right there. It's quite a busy spot. Dublin, San Ramon area, right around there. So it's easy for people to get to on that corridor. It would be easy for people to even go over the Altamont from Tracy and continue on 580, which meets 680, and check out that event when possible and expand your resources by just going over the hill, right, Brian?
And not to mention that that area is on the BART line. So anybody that is near a BART line in the Bay Area can come to that event.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about driving, you don't have to worry about traffic, just hop on BART.
Exactly.
Yeah, and hey, you're being green friendly too, so that's always a plus.
Absolutely, it doesn't hurt.
Less driving is always better in my book, even though I love to drive.
Absolutely, I hear you on that one, Brian. So, Brian, any final thoughts from you before we wrap this up?
Well, I think we've had a really great year. Met some really great people. I'm very excited in 2014, just because personally I'm going into this business full time, which I haven't been before. So I'm excited for the extra time that I'm going to be able to devote, to the GNA, to my business, to helping others, and having more one-on-ones. Feel free to ask for one-on-ones with me. I'm going to be reaching out to a bunch of you as well. Let's get to know each other. We know each other on Facebook. I personally have probably over 600-700 friends on my page. And I'd like to say that I recognize most of the names when I finally meet someone face to face, but I still haven't met a lot of you. There's a lot of chapters that I plan on showing up to next year that I haven't had an opportunity to go to in the past. I would encourage each of you to also step out of your comfort zones and join me in that journey, to visit a chapter that you haven't gone to. We have a network of over 2,600 people right now. There are definitely centers of influence in every single chapter. If you're looking to expand and grow your business, the easiest way to do it is to look into another chapter. Find who the key people are in that chapter. Get them to walk you around and introduce you and shake new hands, make new friends, and most importantly, follow up and connect on where?
Facebook!
If he didn't answer that, he would have been fired.
I would deserve to get fired if I didn't know the answer.
I mean, Mr.
to that.
Facebook here, if you didn't answer that question correctly, I don't know what I would have had to do.
Well, thanks for the label, Brian. And I want to say just a couple of nice words here about Brian. I've known Brian for about a year and a half, not getting close to 2 years, and phenomenal gentleman. I'm so pleased that he's going to be more active with the GNA. He was always active, but he had his day job, and now he's going full-time into Zero BS marketing, and he's going to be out there shaking hands. And we're both Brian and I are business owners. We don't get paid to do this. But it's not all about our business. It's about every one of you, and we're going to be out there as leaders helping empower you become a better networker and helping you feel more comfortable to get out of your seats and step into the spotlight. So if you have not connected with this gentleman yet, you definitely want to make that a high priority and get to him soon, because his schedule is going to be filled. Now, Brian, real quick here, we made an announcement at the Holiday Extravaganza this year. Our 2013 GNA Superstar member was Debbie Walsh.
Yep, Debbie Walsh.
Debbie Daisy Walsh.
Debbie Daisy Walsh.
And you're going to say that on
Yeah.
Facebook. On Facebook, she's Debbie Daisy Walsh. Daisy is actually her beagle name.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her name. So don't call her Daisy. If you want to call her Debbie Daisy Walsh, that's fine. But Debbie Walsh, phenomenal person. I got to tell you, I mean, she's a real kick. But I've never met anybody who's so devoted without even having to think about it. She does things just because that's who she is. I'm just blown away. A few words quickly about Debbie, Brian.
Well, with Debbie, I can honestly say that, over time she's grown on me. Literally, because you really got to take the time out to get to know people. If you don't take the time out to get to know somebody, what's going to happen? You're going to form judgments, you're going to prejudge people, you're going to come up with the wrong perceptions. And Debbie knows this, so I can say this on camera. I had that wrong perception of her when I first met her. But, Elias kept telling me, hey, get to know her. You're not seeing a side of her that you saw the first time. And he kept me in check. He kept me honest because what did I do? I formed a judgment. And and Debbie's going to get a kick out of this when she sees it. I'm sure I'm going to hear about it probably within about, I'm going to peg it at 15 seconds after this video posts online. Debbie's going to call me, Facebook me, email me. Well, I just laid that table. But Debbie, you know that now, because of getting to know you, because of Elias giving you that opportunity to get in the spotlight and do presentations, I saw Debbie Walsh in a whole different light and with much more respect than I ever gave her credit for. And I'll publicly go on record by saying, she is one of the most phenomenal people that I've ever met. I'm at a loss for words just because, if I think about a defining moment of any member I've met in the GNA in, 2013, this was a defining moment for me, coming to the realization that, I'm guilty of stuff that I would say to others, give people a chance and learn. Well, I was guilty of it myself because, hey, we're human, right?
Absolutely.
Humans make mistakes. We don't give people a chance. Well, that's what's going to happen. So take that time out. We can't stress the one-on-ones enough.
Right.
One-on-ones are, besides paying it forward, one-on-ones is the second most important thing in the GNA culture. Have the one-on-ones, ask people what a good referral is, and most importantly, ask them how can you move their business forward. Debbie Daisy Walsh taught me how to move my business forward without even knowing it, and I can't thank her enough for that. Thank you,
Debbie. And on that note, I want to just take this moment really quickly here to wrap it up and thank each and every one of you for being a part of the GNA. I want to thank you all for your time, commitment, dedication, and continued support. And on that note, we hope to see you all at the GNA event soon!